from the curves. If you had it back there and you're looking for a smile, bringing hope and joy for a day that was wild. Stuff from the cuffs is here to make things bright. In a world so dark, they're bringing some light. Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs. Go Bria, go Bill, go Bess, go Brian. Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs.
It's me again, and this time I'm all alone about an interesting topic. Do me a favor, go on Google, go on YouTube, and search snapback body. Search how to get my body back after pregnancy. Search dealing with my postpartum body. Search dealing with my body after pregnancy. Search how to look like a celebrity after having a baby. And you'll see just how much those search results show up. It's one of the most talked about. It's one of the most searched. And a lot of women often struggle with depression because of how their bodies have changed after childbirth. This is my story. Welcome back, Cufflinks fam. Stuff from the cuff. And of course, we bring fire, fun, inspiration, realness, and education. And today is about the realness and the education. My wife and I have 2 girls. And if you know my wife, or I'm going to try and find a picture and post of my wife in her early days compared to now, she has put on weight. There are some men who struggle with dealing with this weight and the changes that affect their wives' bodies. How do I feel about my wife's body after childbirth? Not once, but twice. What do I want to say about my wife's body and how it has changed? I really want to say nothing. I really want to feel. What should I feel? I think the first thing a man should understand is not for you to criticize and critique what her body has evolved to be. Now, oftentimes, it is then couples start moving from us to him and her. A lot of it has to do with socialization. So socialization says there needs to be a quick snapback. It takes 2 to tango. So if your wife's body has changed, you have a role to play. Yes, you had a role to play, and now you have a role to play. And the role that you have to play is not one where you become a gym instructor or a drill sergeant detailing what she needs to do to lose weight. It's not to be that number one critic. It's not to be that one to suggest the diet. It's not to be that one who looks on her differently. It is to be her strength. She's already facing a lot of criticism in the public's eye, whether or not it is directly at her. Every time she opens a lot of social media feeds, every time she watches TV, every time she looks in certain magazines, there are women who have, after a week or two, who have, after a month or two, have gone back to probably even slimmer than they were before. As a result of that, there is a constant pressure on her mind that tells her she needs to get back to this place. She needs to look like this. And if she doesn't, her man doesn't see her the same way. Her man has lost his fire, his desire, his drive, his view of her being sexy. She's no longer appealing to him. You now have a responsibility to move past those early days of looking on in lust and desire. And some would argue it's not lust, but I want to use that word, that passion, that fire. and now looking on in love and maturity. When you see her scars, you see our scars. When you see her weight gain, you see our weight gain. When you see her C-section, when you see her tiger marks, you see our tiger marks. I remember the first time I saw my wife's post-pregnancy body in the realest of ways. We were at the hospital and she got up off the bed in her robe and everything and she went to the bathroom. I don't remember exactly how I knew that she needed help, but I knew that she needed help. And when I went, my wife, who had a C-section, was trying to tidy herself. And in trying to tidy herself, she was not having the most success because she had just done a major surgery. When I saw her, I saw us. I saw the love of my life needing help. Yes, maternity underwear. Yes, um, the big underwear. Yes, the maternity diaper. Yes, the maternity pads. Yes, the cuts, the bandages. But I saw my wife. At first, she was hesitant. To show you how culture has really affected us. At first, she was hesitant to have the closest person to her helping her because of the fears of how I might see her. But I didn't care about that. I cared about my wife, the heart, the soul, the person that she is, and not just about this flesh. You see, we have to remember that after 2 kids or 1 kid, you're looking at 9 months or 18 months of kicking, of shifting inside, of developing, of growing, of pains, of hunger, of desires, of longings for, of different ups and downs and hills and valleys. She has to then learn to deliver, then learn to feed, then learn to wean. Then so much happens in that process called bringing life to this earth. And yet still we get so caught up in seeing the bodies change. We need to move from a place of immaturity to a place of maturity and understanding. So when I see my wife, me, when I see that body of hers, I love her bad. I love the new her much more than I love the old her, or even the same if you want to argue it. But my love has not diminished nor altered in a negative way because of the pounds that she's gained, because of the scars that are now evident. The truth is, my body is not the same either. If you know me, I was much slimmer as well. But I've also gained weight. And if I am going to be a critic, or if you, as a man out there, or a woman out there who is going to criticize, let's look at ourselves. It's the same principle, just as the Bible would say, take the beam out of your eye before taking the speck out of somebody else's. Look at yourself. I've changed. And yet still I want her to love me as Mr. Tall, dark and handsome. Well, yes, I'm not as dark as some people may say, but yes, I'm still a proud black man. I want her to look at me and see handsome and feel like the butterflies same way, but I don't look the same. And also, many have to remember that her views of sexual intimacy may change as well. It may be because of the emotional side, it may be because of the psychological side, it may be because of the physical side, but sexual intimacy may also change because of her mindset. She's now struggling and wondering if you're still attracted to her, if you really can find this body so beautiful. Because again, when she looks left, when she looks right, there are some figures that are out there that really cause her to wonder, where do I fit in the equation? You have a responsibility to let her know that despite how she may now look different, especially looking different from the norm that is perpetuated in the media, she is your number one. When you look at her, she should know that you see her as number one. Not one of, but number one, who is also wonderful. Now, Of course, Solomon used to talk about, and I mean, it even goes back to how Solomon wrote when he spoke about the deers her twins that skip, yeah, referring to yeah, because they were upright and they were bouncy. But that does not say that Solomon wasn't later on conscious of the fact that this changes with time and age. You see, every time you look at your wife's body, here's what you should see. You should see our body. Because it took two to tango. It took two to tango. And she is now where she is because of you. Yes, she played a role, but because of you. Straight, yeah. So see two as one. See a shared life. What you should be seeing is all of those times when you used to rub her belly. What you should be seeing is all of those times when you used to hold her hands in expectancy, walking down, supporting her as she carries your child. What you should see is the first time you heard and saw the ultrasound and the heartbeat. What you should be seeing is the victory of a childbirth, a successful childbirth or two. What you should be seeing is the excitements of the doctor's visits and hearing the continued growth and hearing the success story and hearing how the child is progressing. What you should see is the miracle that is breastfeeding. What you should see is no longer gazes of passion alone, but gazes of intimacy and growing and love and a love that passes all. It's our scars. It's our weight. It's our body. We should be seeing the evolution and not what many consider to be the destruction of that beautiful body. I'm going to leave with a poem that I just wrote for my wife. But I know that there are many women out there who can hold on to something from this, right? And to the men out there, I hope it is also something you will now use and move forward with in your relationship. Babe, you've put on some weight, you've put on some pounds, but it is nothing compared to two princesses safe and sound. Your twins may not be saluting as they used to before, but then again, even my belly is closer to the floor. You've got lines running up and down your body. They're masterpieces reminding how you've made me a daddy. I don't care about everyone and their views about a snapback, nor will I clap back if they attack, nor will I beg them to cut you some slack. I'll only proclaim loudly, a great mother, she is that. We, unlike many, move past the superficial, just the flesh or the looks. You are the epitome of virtue that only is written in some books. You're beautiful, and I'll tell you every day. And no matter what others say, I love you more, if not the same way. Babe, you're beautiful. Yes, you may have put on some weight, you may have put on some pounds, but it's nothing compared to the fact that you've been used to bring forth two girls safe and sound. Your twins may not salute as they used to before, but guess what? Even my belly is closer to the floor. Like, share, subscribe for more.
Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs. If you had it back there and you're looking for a smile, bringing hope and joy for a day that was wild. Stuff from the cuffs is here to make things bright. In a world so dark, they're bringing some light. Stuff from the cuffs.